All coincidences with real people are random. If they tell you that this is not the case, ignore them. The skies over Metropolis were darkened by an ominous cloud. This was no ordinary storm. Superman, the protector of Earth, flew up to investigate the anomaly. As he approached the swirling vortex, he felt a strange pull, unlike anything he'd ever experienced. Suddenly, a beam of light shot out from the center of the storm, enveloping him in an alien energy that coursed through his veins. For a moment, he floated helplessly in the beam, unable to move or think clearly. Then, just as abruptly as it had begun, the light disappeared and Superman plummeted back to Earth. He landed heavily in a deserted alley, groaning in pain. Clutching his head, he struggled to stand, feeling an unfamiliar rage boiling within him. Days passed, and Superman found himself growing increasingly irritable. Small things that never bothered him before now sparked intense anger. His friends and allies noticed the change, but couldn't pinpoint the cause. He became distant, withdrawing from those who cared about him. One evening, while patrolling Metropolis, he encountered a petty thief. Normally, Superman would apprehend the criminal with minimal force, but this time he lashed out violently, nearly killing the man. Shocked by his own actions, Superman flew away, leaving the thief barely alive. He retreated to the Fortress of Solitude, desperate for answers. There, he analyzed his own DNA and discovered an insidious alien virus intertwined with his genetic code. This virus was not just altering his physical strength, it was corrupting his mind. Despite his best efforts to contain the virus, Superman's condition worsened. One fateful night, the rage overtook him completely. He burst out of the Fortress of Solitude, his eyes glowing with an unearthly red light. The people of Metropolis looked up in horror as their hero descended upon the city, not to save them, but to destroy. Superman unleashed his heat vision, cutting through buildings and incinerating anything in his path. Panic spread through the streets as civilians scrambled to escape the onslaught. The Justice League quickly assembled, desperately trying to stop their friend-turned-foe. Batman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, and others converged on Metropolis, determined to subdue Superman without killing him. They knew the man they once fought alongside was still in there somewhere. Batman, using his intellect, devised a plan to weaken Superman with kryptonite, hoping it would buy them time to find a cure. But Superman was far too powerful and enraged. He swatted them away like flies, his strength amplified by the alien virus. One by one, Earth's greatest heroes fell before him. Batman's gadgets, Wonder Woman's lasso, the Flash's speed, none of it was enough. Wonder Woman managed to land a blow with her enchanted sword, drawing blood from Superman. For a brief moment, his eyes flickered with recognition and pain. But then the rage returned, stronger than ever. He grabbed her by the throat and flung her into a building, her body crumpling to the ground. As the days turned into weeks, Superman's humanity slipped away entirely. He became a force of pure destruction, annihilating entire cities in his path. The world watched in horror as their greatest hero transformed into their worst nightmare. Governments fell, armies crumbled, and humanity was on the brink of extinction. Lex Luthor, Superman's arch nemesis, saw an opportunity to rid the world of the alien once and for all. He gathered the remaining heroes and villains alike, forming an unlikely alliance to stop the rampaging Superman. Together, they launched a final assault, hoping to end the madness. The remnants of the Justice League, alongside Luthor's forces, faced off against Superman in the ruins of Metropolis. It was a battle unlike any other. The ground shook with each clash, the sky lit up with the fury of their powers. In a last-ditch effort, Batman approached Superman with a shard of kryptonite, ready to end the fight. But as he got closer, Superman's eyes locked onto his, and for a moment, Bruce Wayne saw the friend he once knew. "Clark, please," Batman whispered, his voice breaking. You have to fight this." Superman's expression softened, the alien virus momentarily pushed back by the memories of their friendship. But it was too late. The virus surged forward, consuming him entirely. With a roar, Superman lashed out, vaporizing Batman with a single blast of heat vision. The remaining heroes and villains fought valiantly, but they were no match for the enraged Superman. One by one, they fell, leaving only a desolate landscape in their wake. With no one left to oppose him, Superman unleashed his full power on the planet. The earth quaked, oceans boiled, and the sky darkened as he tore through the very fabric of the world. Humanity's last hope was extinguished as the ground split open, swallowing cities whole. Superman stood alone amidst the ruins, his eyes glowing with the remnants of his rage. But as the dust settled, something shifted within him. The alien virus, having fulfilled its purpose, began to fade. Slowly, Superman's mind cleared, and the memories of his actions flooded back. Superman looked around at the devastation he had wrought. The once vibrant planet was now a barren wasteland, devoid of life. The bodies of his friends and countless innocents lay strewn across the ruins. The weight of his actions crashed down upon him, and he fell to his knees, tears streaming down his face. "No, what have I done?" he whispered, his voice trembling with grief. The reality of his actions was too much to bear. Superman clutched his head, trying to shut out the memories, but they only grew louder, more insistent. The faces of those he had killed haunted him, their voices echoing in his mind. Overwhelmed by guilt and sorrow, Superman's mind began to fracture. The once great hero was now a broken man, consumed by the horror of his deeds. He wandered the desolate earth, searching for any sign of life, but finding only reminders of his destruction. In his madness, Superman began to see visions of his loved ones, accusing him of betrayal. His parents, Lois Lane, his friends from the Justice League all appeared before him, their eyes filled with condemnation. He screamed, trying to silence the voices, but they only grew louder. Superman's once mighty frame was now gaunt and weakened. He stumbled through the ruins of Metropolis, his mind unraveling further with each passing day. The alien virus had left him, but the damage it had done was irreversible. One day, as he sat amidst the wreckage, Superman saw a reflection of himself in a shattered mirror. The man who stared back was a stranger, a monster. Unable to bear the sight, he shattered the mirror with a single blow, the shards cutting into his flesh. "Clark Kent is dead," he muttered to himself, over and over. "Superman is dead." In his final moments of clarity, Superman realized that there was no redemption for what he had done. The guilt and madness consumed him entirely, leaving nothing but a hollow shell of the hero he once was. The Earth, now a desolate wasteland, bore the scars of Superman's rampage. The once great cities lay in ruins, and the silence was deafening. The world had lost its greatest hero, and with him, its hope. In the end, Superman's story became a tragic cautionary tale, a reminder that even the mightiest of heroes can fall, and that the line between hero and villain can be frighteningly thin. The legacy of Superman was forever tainted by the darkness that had consumed him, and the world would never forget the day their savior became their destroyer.